You know, in the heart of Pakistan's agricultural belt, there's this quiet revolution happening, and it's not in the fields, but in the classrooms and lecture halls of one university. This is the story of the University of Jhang, and it's all about how a single institution is basically planting the seeds for a completely new kind of future. So here's the big question, right? Zhang is farm country through and through. For generations, the whole economy has been about agriculture. So why on earth would the government pour millions into building a massive public university right there? Well, the answer to that question kind of tells you everything about what the region wants for its future. To really get why this university was so incredibly important, we need to jump back in time a little. Because before it existed, if you were a young person in this area, your path to getting a degree was pretty much blocked by this huge opportunity gap. Okay, just imagine this for a second. You're a bright student in Zhang, and you're dreaming of becoming an engineer, or maybe a doctor. But what's your reality? The nearest universities are hours away in these big, crowded cities like Lahore or Faizabad. For so many people, especially for young women, that distance wasn't just miles on a map, it was a giant wall. It forced them to choose between their dreams and their home, and that was the reality the University of Zhang was built to change. So, faced with this massive challenge, what was the plan? I'll tell you. It wasn't some small, temporary fix. It was a bold, ambitious strategy to build opportunity right where it was needed the most. So let's trace that journey from just a simple idea to a real, thriving campus. Yeah, building a university from scratch is definitely a marathon, not a sprint. The very first idea was floated way back in 2010. It then took 5 whole years just to get the official thumbs up from the government. Then another 3 years before they could finally open the doors to students. And even today, the campus is buzzing with construction. So what does that tell us? This was no quick fix. It was a calculated, long-term bet on the power of education to completely transform a region. All right, so after all that planning and all that building, what's the end result? What does this engine of opportunity actually look like from the inside? Let's take a quick peek at the facts and figures that define the University of Jhang today. The first thing you need to wrap your head around is just the scale of this place. We are talking about a 286-acre campus. I mean, to put that into perspective, that is a massive footprint. It's a very clear signal that this isn't just some small college. It's a major long-term investment in the region's future. But, size is only one part of the equation. What's really impressive is the sheer variety of what they teach here. You've got everything from arts and humanities to hard sciences, business, and even cutting-edge IT. So this isn't just a university, it's really a launch pad, designed to get students ready for just about any career path they can dream up. Now here's something that really jumps out when you look at how the university is run. Just look who's at the very top: the governor of Punjab and the minister for higher education. And this isn't just for show. It means the university is a core piece of the government's strategy for the entire region, with direct oversight from the highest levels. That's a huge statement about how important this place is. Okay, and here's a little detail that gives you a real feel for the culture on campus. The University of Zhang actually has a formal dress code, and it's all built around this idea of being modest and professional. This isn't just about what students wear, it's about creating a specific kind of atmosphere, an environment that gets them ready for the professional world from day one. It's a small detail, but it speaks volumes about the university's mission. So we've seen the why and the what, but the most important question is always, so what? Right? What's the real-world impact of this university? And this is where the story gets really compelling, because the University of Zhang is basically playing on 2 fields at once, transforming its local community while also building bridges to the rest of the world. This, right here, is the core of their success story. Remember that barrier to education we talked about? Well, the University of Jhang has just smashed it to pieces. It's opened a gateway for thousands of local students, especially young women, who before could only dream of getting a university degree. This is what it looks like to change a region, one student at a time. And this is how they're doing it. They've got one foot planted firmly in the local community, with events like a brand fiesta and tech expos that are all about sparking local business ideas. But their other foot is out on the global stage, hosting conferences that bring top researchers from places like Norway and the UK right into the heart of Punjab. It's a brilliant strategy. Think global, act local. And this isn't just about getting a piece of paper. It's about getting a job.
The university is totally focused on practical skills. They've got centers that train students to be online freelancers, offices that connect research directly with local businesses, and short courses that give them the exact IT skills that employers are desperate for. The goal is super simple. When a student graduates from here, they are ready to work.
So, when you put all these pieces together, the history, the sheer scale, the impact, what's the big takeaway? What is the lasting legacy of the University of Jhang going to be? It all really boils down to one simple but profound truth. More than the buildings, more than the impressive programs, the single greatest achievement of the University of Jhang is this. It opened a door. It brought the opportunity of a world-class education to a place where that door had been locked shut for generations. That's its legacy. And so, the story of the University of Jhang isn't really over. In a lot of ways, it's just beginning. We've seen how a single, smart investment in education can start to reshape an entire region. But it also leaves us with this really exciting question for the future. How will the thousands of graduates from this university, armed with new skills and new dreams, continue to transform the future of Punjab? Well, that's a story that's still being written.